Because France won.
The rioting and looting and just looting scooter stores.
What? I didn't see that part.
Yeah, then overnight they fucking started looting fucking scooter stores.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway.
But we won
the FIFA World Cup. Yes. So, an old high school buddy of mine said, hey, France won again. I said, what do you mean again? He goes, well, 20 years ago, is the last time they won. I said, yeah. He goes, do you remember that day? And then he reminded me that day I damn near rode off 2 cars.
Oh shit.
Damn near rode off 2 cars and still had time to make it to the pub for lunch. Like it was a busy day.
All before lunch.
Yeah,
damn.
exactly. But
That was a rough morning.
It was 20 years. It was 20 years ago that it happened because when we went to the pub, my buddy was actually watching France defeat Brazil in the 1998 FIFA World Cup. Makes sense?
I'm looking forward to it.
So, and you have a shit ton of good news as well, so.
Well, I'm not going to bring up any of that stuff.
Why not? Oh, no, I mean, what you got here.
Oh, okay, yeah. The missing plutonium, and I think I'm actually on the right trail. I think I might be tracking it down.
Well, I'll do my best to pay attention.
I'm going to switch it over to my intro.
Yep. And... Okay, I'm good. I don't like how I'm like not facing you anymore. Turn this way. That's now we're just looking in the same direction.
Nope, I'm looking at the back of your head.
Great. Wrong.
But look at it this way. It's just so easy to switch roles.
I guess I could look this way. But now I'm staring off into my kitchen.
I was gonna say, that might be a little weird. And welcome back to another exciting episode of WTF ATTA Podcast. What the fuck are they talking about? I'm the host, Elijah. You can go to the website, WTFATTA.blogspot.com. Go to the email if you want, WTFATTApodcast@gmail.com. Go to YouTube and Twitch to watch us live. Subscribe. Go to iTunes to catch the old episodes. And go to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to like and subscribe.
I'm JD the Media Jack. This is the Flipside. home of the finest insanity on any streaming service possible. You can follow me all over social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. Twitch is the stupid Nintendo thing. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and on Mixer. And joining me yet again from Ontario is Eli from WTF ATTA. I'm in from British Columbia, and we are doing our best to cover both ends of Canada. And I just realized that the statement of "This is America" is kind of a broader statement than I once realized. Anyway, you can get in on the conversation through the chat, either through YouTube or Twitch or on Mixer, and also you can leave a comment down below because we do read those. I do have an email somewhere, but I don't even use it anymore. So
well, I just realized I have my fucking line still muted.
So they're listening to me and then heard nothing out of you.
Nope, your line was muted too.
Oh, well, shit. Okay, so do you want to hit yourself again?
Yeah, I'll fucking hit myself, all right? Welcome to another exciting episode of WTF ATTA podcast. What the fuck are they talking about? I am the host and ultimate cause of all the fuck-ups. Elijah. Yeah, on this end.
Yes.
WTFATTA.blogspot.com, WTFATTA podcast at gmail.com, YouTube and Twitch. Like and subscribe. iTunes for the old episodes. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WTFATTA. Ripping through it as quick as I can.
There you go. The statement of "This is America," whatever the statement in the context of "This is America" is actually a lot broader than I once realized, and a lot of people once realized, because America is an entire continent. You have...
Well, no. If we say America, that's two continents. 2.5 if we want to count.
Yeah, well, you have North America, Central America, South America, right?
Yeah.
Canada.
2.5 continents.
Yeah, Canada is a part of North America. Jesus, my camera makes me look like I have jaundice. Look at that.
Wow, that is kind of odd. You got to set your thing to manual correction.
I think so.
Set it to manual override.
That or I need to scoot forward. I'm going to redo this whole thing anyway. So Central America, North America, South America. So Canada is essentially America, just like Mexico is essentially America. America, the country sandwiched in between those other two countries, is the United States of America. So in actual fact, to make proper reference to that area, you are from the United States of America, not just America.
Would we be the United Provinces and Territories of America? I'm sorry.
No, technically we are the
Federation.
The country
the
of Canada.
Federation of Provinces.
Ooh, I like that. The Federation of Provinces of America.
And Territories.
Yeah,
and territories. That's a mouthful. So I'm making it too easy. That's what she said.
Jesus,
I gotta stop.
So, I just thought that was kind of odd that someone pointed that out. Finally, I was like, you know what? That actually makes sense, because America is expanded, right? It's North America, Central America, and South America. And I even remember Team America World Police, where they're like, Central America, south of real America. Like,
America, fuck yeah.
I know.
Saving the world from the motherfucking terrorists.
So I have two stories, and we will get to a sexy time story in a little bit. But where do you want to start?
Ballad of Matt
Porteous, Battle of Matt Porteous. You want to start there?
Sure. Let's start at the top. Work our way down.
All right. So this goes back a little bit, and Matt Porteous is I'll preface this. Matt Porteous is a former broadcaster of Prince George. Now he works he worked for a radio station in Prince George that was formerly called 94X, and they did rock, alternative rock, new rock. So anyway, Matt Porteous was also at one point in time, actually still is, the announcer for the local WHL hockey team, the Prince George Cougars. Now, me being a hockey fan and very much supporting local hockey, I frequent the Cougars games in CN Center all the time. And back in 2013, what happened was I was down there at the Cougars game, sitting in the regular seats with a couple of my buddies, including Mitch the World Conqueror and Matt the Mad Scientist. I'm gonna say that my Matt is the Mad Scientist and Matt Porteous is Matt Porteous. That way, there's little to no confusion. So anyway, during this Cougars game where Matt Porteous is the announcer, the game was between the Kamloops Blazers and the Prince George Cougars. But the Mad Scientist started pointing out that Matt Porteous was referring to the Kamloops Blazers as the Portland Winterhawks. Completely different team. Now, I didn't catch it in the first period, but the second period came by, and sure as hell, I heard it. And I didn't just hear it once. I heard it a few times. Portland would get see, I'm doing it. Kamloops would get a goal, or Kamloops would get a penalty, and Matt Porteous would refer to Kamloops as Portland. Like, two different cities, two different teams, right? So, instead of, like, going upstairs to the broadcast area and knocking on the door and be like, hey, straighten your shit out, wrong team, the Mad Scientist took to Twitter and tweeted to Matt Porteous, I hope you realize that the game is Blazers Cougars, not Portland. Portland is nowhere to be seen. Hashtag, what game are you watching? Okay, a little sassy, but that's fine. Now, I'm not involved, right? Matt Porteous replies with, at Matt Mad Science, come up here and show me how it's done, winky face. To which the Mad Scientist then added me to the conversation, as well as Matt Porteous and Cougars. So he used like at the Media Jack, at Prince George Cougars, saying only if it's a Portland penalty. When the game ended, like, that one right there, of course, like, he tagged me in it and I retweeted it because I thought that was kind of humorous.
That was.
So when the game ended, we go to leave, and Matt Porteous, or I hear the Mad Scientist go, "No way!" And I turn around and go, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "Look." And sure as hell, like, holding it long enough for all of us to see it, there's Matt Porteous in front of everyone from the broadcast PA announcer's booth, flipping us off. Yeah. Like, fucking classy, right?
Wow.
So that was a Friday night game, and this show here, the Flipside, used to be broadcasted on 93.1 FM, on terrestrial radio. So that was a Friday night game, and I remember this because the Saturday morning before the Flipside, we would go have breakfast together. And so for me, Matt Porteous actually said one more thing, so I'm jumping ahead here. Wait. As the game ended, I started to make my... I'm reading all my notes here. As the game ended, I started to make my way out the arena, only to see Matt Porteous showing us his middle finger. Next morning, to promote the Saturday night radio show, I tweeted, so I took to Twitter, hiding nothing. Tonight on the Flipside radio show, it's the war on the mic, Mad Scientist versus Matt Porteous. And I used their Twitter handles. Also, I give my reactions to the game. Now, I didn't see any harm in this because I was just going to give the story, and it wasn't going to be biased. It was just like, you know what? Like, we all have off days. Like, shit happens, right? I wrote in my notes, I didn't see any harm using Matt Porteous' Twitter handle as cross-promotion for my little show, and I didn't think it would bother him at all, or so I thought, to which Matt Porteous then took to Twitter and said, at the Media Jack, at the Mad Scientist, and you wonder why no radio station will hire you. Laugh out loud. If only you knew what we did with your demos and resume. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. my mind immediately, just for a moment, went to South Park's Classy, where the C is fucking the L out of the A.
Exactly. So he didn't stop there. He then proceeded to insult me, the company that I work for. Like, keeping in mind, like, and you wonder why no radio station will hire you. I was working at a radio station. I was promoting my own fucking radio show at the time. Dipshit. Now, but it is no secret that as quite a few times before this, I had applied to their radio station, right? So the comment of, if only you knew what we did with your demos and resume, was kind of like, what exactly are you doing, sir? So I took it upon myself to investigate further, and, you know, call it as you will, I contacted his boss, because that's serious implications, right?
Absolutely.
So I said,
absolutely,
what is meant by this? What happens to my demos? I take my work very seriously, and I don't see how I deserve this comment. I had nothing but the utmost respect for those in the broadcast industry and only wish to be treated the same. I work hard, earn interviews, blah, 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 blah. If I'm being blacklisted for any reason, I wish to know so I can continue my efforts elsewhere. By Matt Porteous's inappropriate and unprofessional statement from his personal Twitter, which there is no personal nothing when you're on social media. Regarding my status of applications and submitted demos with the Vista Broadcast Group, I'm assuming I'm not being taken seriously. I would like to know what is meant by this comment. Now, like, the only reason, there was two reasons why I made and wrote out this email. The first reason is that he would not back down. He continued to insult me, insult my coworkers, insult my family, insult my wife at the time. And then he proceeded to block all of us and then continued to insult us.
Oh my God.
Like, it was nonstop, right? Now,
this is the fucking kid who runs inside of his house and then keeps yelling.
Yeah,
or is the kid in the car driving away, fuck you!
Yeah, exactly. Run the red light, fuck you! So, like, yeah, it was stupid. So, the first reason why I wrote this is because, like, it would not stop. And the second reason why is because it was serious implications that I was not being taken seriously and possibly being laughed at and blacklisted, which you cannot do without any, well, like, yes, you can choose not to hire someone, but the comment of, you should see what we do with your demo and resume, that's a big problem. Like, that's a legal problem, right? Yeah. So anyway, that happened back in 2013, okay? Last year, I reached out to his boss, just because, like, fucking, it's been 4 years. Like, what is going on? So, because it's been 4 years, and I was just wondering, like, if anything has changed or what's the deal. Also, I started hearing rumor that Mr. Matt Porteous was leaving and moving to a different career. So, like, I thought, you know what, like, don't burn any bridges that don't need to be burnt. So I thought I'd reach out and just be like, so, like, no hard feelings. Like, I'm not upset about this at all. What happened? It was fucking 4 years ago. How about we move forward from this? And so I met with his boss, and, like, things were fine. Yeah. I met with his boss, and, like things seemed fine. Like, he was talking. I was like, yeah, it's no big deal. It was Matt Porteous is Matt Porteous. He's just a jackass at times, and he just has no social couth. And it's like, okay, well, cool.
Totally
right
uncool.
Yeah. So, oh, cool, I do have it. So anyway, then the weirdest thing happened. I'm going to send this to you.
Interesting. Curious.
Don't play it yet.
Okay.
Right? The weirdest thing happened. And what happened is I was working at the new radio station. Like, keep in mind, this is like 5 years now, right? I'm working at my new radio station, 99.3 The Drive in Prince George, British Columbia. Still the same city as what was 94X, now is called 94.3 The Goat. We'll get into the name later. And Matt Porteous still works there. And so I'm working weekends, and one of my coworkers and one of my superiors is working on remote. And what that means is he's on location, he's promoting whatever event is out there, and that popped up. And then he's just basically doing a sales pitch, and what he does is he turns out his mic, or his microphone's always live, and what I do is I cue him up 3 to 4 times an hour for 3 hours, and he just talks about the fact that, like, if he was at like a car dealership, it's like, oh, and new Mustangs and blah 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 blah, and come on down and great sales, and so that sort of thing. It's called a remote. It just so happened that Matt Porteous's radio station and Matt Porteous was at that same remote, and this happens from time to time, right? So I'm in the background, and the guy that I work with, my superior, is doing his job and whatever, and I send him a text message, and I say, I'm going to record your next break just so that we have a backup, just in case. And what happens is sometimes, equipment goes down, or sometimes, something goes amiss, and so I need to have a recorded segment just in case, that way, just in case he can't go live. And so he goes, no problem. Now, when it comes to recording any conversation, British Columbia is a one-party system. And what that means is if you and I are talking, and I know that I'm recording the conversation, then the conversation is perfectly legal in any standing court in British Columbia, because one party in the conversation is aware of what's happening. Okay? So with that,
I thought that was American.
A lot of states have two-party system where both people in the conversation have to know that it's being recorded, unless you get a warrant and blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah. Right.
So anyway, so Rick Kelly knows that I'm going to record, and then Rick Kelly makes mention of my name, and then Matt Porteous, who's there, says this. You can go ahead and hit play on that. Is it going to come up on mine?
I stumbled over something when I was doing an announcement. He started tweeting at me and getting all his friends to tweet at me about what a terrible announcer I was. And I was like, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, it's all good. It is what it is. If that's what he thinks is going to get him a job in radio, I mean, fire away. Yeah. Everybody in our building's like, what a jackass. But hey, whatever you think, man. The only person from your building that ever shows up in our building is Cody.
Okay, so yeah, you can stop it there.
Okay.
So he then proceeds to bring up what happened 5 fucking years ago. And promptly insults me to my coworker. Like, Jesus Christ, let it go. Now, the part of the conversation that I heard afterward, like after I stopped recording, was the fact that he was accusing me of showing up to one of his remotes years ago with an air horn and interrupting his broadcast. Like, I got fucking better things to do, honestly.
I mean, shit. Even Chad probably wouldn't fucking do. Oh shit! I left that mic. I gotta bring that down. Oh, there we go. You were peeking into the red.
I'm sorry. Yeah, even Chad wouldn't be like dumb enough to do something like that, or like would have better things to do, right? So anyway, so I'm like, for fuck's sakes, let it go. So again, I email Matt Porteous' boss and said, like, basically, like, look, this is the recording. This is how it happened. One of my coworkers knew that I was recording, so it's like above board. But that's not the point. The point is like, Jesus fucking Christ, it happened 5 years ago. He screwed up. We called him out on it. He screwed up further. You had him back down because he was embarrassing himself. And like I let it go.
Right.
I freaking let it go. And now you're bad mouthing me to one of my coworkers? Eat a dick. So, Matt Porteous, as of Friday, is no longer with 94.3 The Goat.
Sorry, I can't. My mind goes straight to Waiting.
Oh, what's that?
The Ryan Reynolds movie?
Yeah, no, I know, but which reference?
Oh, The Goat.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
The
yeah.
Nutsack.
So I actually had nothing to do with this. Instead, for some reason, he decided to leave radio, and he is now going to start selling real estate.
Those who can't do, sell real estate.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh my god.
Now
Fuck, I don't even remember what I was gonna look up now. Damn it. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Carry on.
GOAT, according to the radio station, it stands for greatest of all time, and they're talking about their music, right? But when I heard GOAT and a few other broadcasters heard GOAT, we went, glorified on-air talent?
Glorified on our twat.
Yeah. So I was asked by my boss at the radio station I work for right now, like, so Matt Porteous is leaving his position at 94.3. I went, yeah. He goes, he thinking about applying over there? I went, they can't pay me enough. After the bullshit that they just put me through, and the fact that they wouldn't let it go for 5 years, fuck them. Like, no,
Yeah.
They cannot pay me enough.
Yeah, you'd just be walking into a fucking world of hurt with that one.
Yeah. So I'm like, not going to apply, not even going to consider it, like, not hurting by it at all whatsoever. I'm having way too much fun at the position that I'm currently at. So why would I leave something that I'm having fun, I'm learning, I'm comfortable, and go where, like, there's already a whole shit ton of useless friction in history? So that is the ballad of Matt Porteous. At some point in time here in Prince George, we're going to start seeing his fucking ugly mug show up on real estate signs. And he is not a pretty man. He has one of those wino like noses, bulbous and huge and red, and yeah, okay. So that's the story of Matt Porteous. I'm not gonna miss hearing him on the radio, that's for sure, because he has soup can radio syndrome.
Soup can radio syndrome. Like
I'm
his voice
Matt
sounds
Porteous, and you just heard Led Zeppelin here on 94.3 The Goat. Like, no one
Holy
fucking talks like that anymore.
Shit! Wow, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Damn it, man, that was almost perfect.
Yes.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know what voice I was going for there.
soup can
I'm sorry.
radio is just very like old school radio. Like, unless you're working for the BBC or CBC or some sort of prestigious.
CBC.
You know, I have a history with CBC as well. So.
Yeah.
So.
On the
yeah.
topic of CBC, I wish Stuart McLean had never died.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why is that?
Oh man, he had some amazing stories. The Vinyl Cafe with Stuart McLean.
Oh, it was great. Utterly stunning show.
Yeah, like I mean, and like I think my favorite one was it was something about him being like Dave being locked in the sewer, and some kid thinking that he's a sewer monster, but he's like, no, I'm an actual person. I need fucking help. Go get your mom.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyways, digression.
Canadian cannabis workers targeted by U.S. border guards for lifetime bans. I heard something about this.
Yeah. So essentially, because they're starting to legalize in other places, there's obviously going to be some backlash for it, and some people are going to push a little harder than others. But now,
in the United States.
Yes. Well, pretty much anywhere where you're legalizing something that was illegal for quite some time.
Right.
Like the purge probably didn't start out as a bloody massacre right off the hop.
No, it probably did not. At least not according to the first movie.
No.
Yeah.
So, in addition to those who have used marijuana, Canadians who are involved with the cannabis economy have been labeled inadmissible because they're considered to be living off the profits of the drug trade. Once banned for life, they must seek legal waivers from an immigration lawyer, good for between 1 and 5 years, for the rest of their lives when they wish to cross the border. Soup can. Sorry. That was my best impression of a soup can.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
So, long story short, they're
profiting off the drug trade.
Yeah, which is ironic considering the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
That's the biggest drug trade.
But is that actually, like, by definition, is that actually profiting off the drug trade if it's legal in the country they're coming from?
Yes, because heroin is legal in like Afghanistan and whatnot, right?
I beg your pardon?
Heroin's legal in like Afghanistan and that. The poppy fields. They make their heroin and the opium from that, and
really,
it's legal for them to do it, but try and bring that shit over here.
Well, yeah, kind of a little bit of pushback, I would assume.
A little bit of pushback, yeah. But the fact that they're still comparing like marijuana to fucking heroin, cocaine, and even alcohol is ridiculous.
Well, no,
I actually
alcohol shouldn't even be in the same category. Alcohol is legal. Bootlegging is illegal, but alcohol is legal.
Yes, but okay, let's go from the hypothetical scenario that all drugs and alcohol is legal.
Fine.
You wouldn't be able to compare the effects of marijuana to that of heroin or cocaine because it's way too different.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Alcohol, it's a bit of a grayer area, but the argument can still be made that you don't really have a medicinal use for alcohol outside of certain things like disinfectants and whatnot. Smoking, no benefit to that. No one smokes to benefit their longevity.
Yeah. You kind of have to be fooling me on that one, yeah.
Well, actually, I had someone, they were trying to argue that they prefaced the entire statement by saying, I know I'm a smoker and it gives a bit of a strong smell, but these people who are smoking weed, they need to be stopped. And I was like, oh my fuck. You have absolutely no right, because first off, they could be like me, where I'm stuck to only being able to use the plant matter because the other methods are either I'm too intoxicated to the point that I'm impaired, or I don't know, it just doesn't do it. It does a different effect on me, not what I need.
Okay.
So I'm stuck with the ostracizing smell, which I understand is also a very pervasive smell. So I generally go out of my way to try and not do it around people.
Which is very nice of you.
It's just consideration of other people, right?
Yes.
So it's the same thing when I smoke. I try and go away from people.
Yes.
Because I recognize that it's a stink. No one wants it.
I have neighbors who frequent the patio, and they smoke up there, and yeah, it wafts into my place. Like I could become annoyed by it because it's not a pleasant smell to me, and I don't partake. But at the same time, like, they're doing it out on the patio so they don't stink up their place. I get that. You know, and like, if you can't do it out on your patio in the fresh air, then where can you? So
really, yeah, because then let's say you're walking down the street, now every house you go by, someone goes, "Oh, goddamn kids!"
Yeah, stay off my lawn.
So, but also, I'd be willing to bet that those people, you could go down there and be like, "I'm sorry, just the wind is tonight just blowing it into my room. Would you mind going around the corner? Because then the wind will blow it and take it that way." And then most people are like, "Yeah, sure, no problem."
Yeah. But at the same time, like, they're on their own patio, they're doing their own things. Like, I'm not gonna go.
Oh, it's on the patio. Oh, okay, yeah. I got you.
Like,
Sorry, I was thinking like they walk. Right.
So,
All right, so
like I said,
they really can't go anywhere.
yeah, no, but that's just it. Like they can't go anywhere, and they're doing the best with what they have available to them. So, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But this is a bit insane, and I know that the people who are being ostracized and being punished for this are seeking help from the Canadian government, the federal government, saying like, look, like this is ridiculous, like
a lifetime ban.
Yeah, into the United States, like, and quite frankly, like from the border guards, and their official statement is either, well, you have two choices, either separate yourself from the drug trade or don't plan on traveling through the United States, which is rough. But there really has to be something. There really has to be something, though.
I've been in the States 3 times. I don't need to go back.
Yeah, but you're not officially associated with any sort of marijuana organization. I mean, other than right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not profiting.
Well, technically, Canada's we don't get cards. It's a fucking prescription bottle, and you have to carry that fucking bottle with you everywhere you goddamn go. It's fucking stupid. Canada. I was all for legalizing.
Yeah.
And then I started to hear what the Liberals were planning on doing, and I was like, oh my fuck. Oh God. Oh, they're fucking it up. Oh my God.
Well, they're
going
to
be so dumb.
They plan on making money.
How?
Well, they plan on making money. I'm not saying they're making money.
That's just it. They plan on making money, but they're never going to get rid of the black market. Are you kidding me? Charging $10 more for the same shit? Fuck. Why would I go way the fuck out there, go through all that process and rigmarole when I can just go to my buddy's place, pick some up there? Or fucking go and grow some. Like, fuck these buildings and this whole... It's all to get you hooked on the processed shit, so you have to go to them to get it. That's one of the reasons that it won't be long before they say you're not allowed to grow at home.
I agree.
It won't be long.
I agree.
Because they don't want you to be able to do it yourself, which is fucked because all you got to do is drop a seed. It's a goddamn fucking tomato plant.
That doesn't blossom. I agree, but at the same time, like the other side of it is that it's all about convenience. The reason why they're going to have it in the store and charge the money is because of convenience, right? Like you can make yourself dinner on a nightly basis, but if you're hungry and you're on the road, instead of packing a sandwich or grabbing a banana or whatever, you fucking stop off at McDonald's because it is food and it's convenient, and it is way more expensive to eat at a restaurant than it is to eat at home, but it's out of convenience, right? So that's
why you go smart. People are getting too goddamn lazy to fucking pack a goddamn sack of weed. Which out of all of them I can believe. Too goddamn lazy to pack your sack of weed. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. There's also the novelty of the entire situation. Like once it becomes legal and it is straight across the board, there will be the novelty boom. Like people will be like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, sales are through the roof," and blah blah. We ran out of this product and ran out of that product, and no more chocolate chunk until we get another supplier. Like it is. That's just the way it's gonna be, right? But it'll eventually trickle down, and it'll find a middle ground, right? And then that's where you'll actually start seeing commercials. You will actually start seeing commercials.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Those should be pretty interesting. They should be Super Bowl level commercials.
They should be. They should
be.
And
I don't want to see some half-ass stoner fucking commercial.
No,
I want to see Super Bowl commercials.
I was gonna say.
I want to see full stoner.
I was gonna say don't market to Chad, right? Don't even market to Eli. Market it to me, because I don't.
Yeah, because you've already got. Yeah, because you already got me. I'm a lifer.
Yeah, exactly. Market it. I want to see the weed ads, the cannabis ads that are marketed to me. I want to see that.
The problem with all of this is, like, my mom, for instance. I used to say that I'd love to sit down and smoke a joint with her one day.
Yes.
But now she has a low blood pressure issue. So I've warned her. Yeah, so I've warned her, don't smoke weed. Don't do it. As much as I love to do it with you, don't do it because it lowers your blood pressure already. Some people it may increase it, but for most it'll lower it.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, always consult your physician.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a natural thing. Your brain is designed to accept the cannabinoids and respond properly, but check with your doctor first. It's no harm, no foul. At least now that it's legal.
My mom, for the first time in her life, my mom received a shipment of weed in the mail. It came via Canada Post. My brother didn't even need ID to go pick it up. He had the little Canada Post door knocker thing, and it came in a sealed box. And in it was her proper shipment of weed, as well as a couple of ounce samplers. And what's the shatter? She got a package of shatter, and on the
that's
package,
some powerful shit.
And on the package of shatter is an online survey where they ask you to give your how that shatter made you feel. Did it make you feel hungry? Did it make you feel nauseous? Did it make you feel sleepy? Did it make you feel more awake? Did it make you feel more focused? That's brilliant. So what they're doing is they're sending out these samples and basically getting test subjects out there to try this stuff so that they can better market, like, okay, so this shatter 85% of the time will make you more hungry.
That is fucking dirty.
Dirty? That's fucking brilliant.
It's brilliant from a commercial standpoint, yeah, but from a grand scheme standpoint, no, that's fucking dirty.
How so? Survey to follow up on shatter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doing a survey like that is basically no different than scheming people's personal data from Facebook to just try and market something back to you. You're not getting paid for what you're doing for them. You're thinking that, oh, I'm benefiting them and it's going to benefit me. But really, are you going to see a fucking penny of that? No.
No, but she did get a free sample of something that she did not ask for. Right? It is an agreement.
I wonder if the Jews would have been happy with like a $25 gift certificate to Arby's.
In reference to what?
The Holocaust.
Oh, fuck
Here,
off.
guys, we're sorry. Here's $25.
No.
Here's a little sample thing. We're all good now, right?
That is not a comparison. That's not a parallel. That is nothing.
That is an absolute fallacy. Yes.
Yes. The shit that your brain just spews out.
I did say I'm a ray of sunshine and flatulence.
Yeah, that you are.
Perpetual ray of sunshine and
flatulence. Yeah.
Yeah, perpetual flatulence. Always speaking bullshit.
Exactly. Plutonium went missing in San Antonio, but government says nothing. Meh.
Oh, yeah. Fucking random plutonium. It's gone. Let's just not worry about it. Just bringing up the article.
Sure. I'll bring it up with you here.
So, two security experts from the Department of Energy's Idaho National Laboratory were tasked with going to San Antonio with a sensitive mission. Retrieve dangerous nuclear materials from a non-profit research lab.
I'm liking this movie already.
Their task, according to documents and interviews, was to ensure that the radioactive materials did not fall into the wrong hands.
In a world
where stupidity reigns.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Idiocracy 2
Yes.
starts off with a bang. All right, so when they stopped at the Marriott Hotel just off Highway 410 in a high-crime neighborhood filled with temp agencies and ranch
Oh, well, you skipped an entire paragraph here.
I did.
Yeah.
Sorry. my brain saw that and just went, oh.
Yeah. To ensure they got the right items, the specialists from Idaho brought radioactive detectors and small samples of dangerous materials to calibrate them. Specifically, calibrate them. Specifically,
and side note, that is a gross overstatement. Those calibration samples are not dangerous. You could swallow the fucking thing and shit it out a week later, and it's not going to cause any damage.
But they don't need much, right? Specifically, a plastic covered for calibration.
Yeah. Very small amount. Very small.
Specifically, a plastic covered disc of plutonium, a material that can be used to fuel nuclear weapons, and another of cesium, a highly radioactive isotope that could potentially be used in a so-called dirty radioactive bomb. All right.
For those that don't know, a dirty bomb is essentially, it's just like a regular explosive that's it's inside of a container filled with radioactive material, specifically alphas.
Okay.
But also you can get away with gammas, and there's a bunch of other ones. Essentially, you put in all this radioactive shit, you blow it up into the air, so everything gets covered in a bit of a radioactive dust.
Right.
It's like a mini nuke. So it's not actually a nuke. It's just you're getting covered with radioactive material.
Right. You're getting the after effects of a radioactive or a nuclear bomb, as opposed to actually being hit with a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
So you're getting the after effects, not the actual devastation. So anyway, but when they stopped at the Marriott Hotel just off of Highway 410 in a high crime neighborhood filled with temp agencies and ranch homes, they left those sensors in the back seat of the rented Ford Expedition. When they awoke the next morning, the window had been smashed, and the special vials holding these sensors. Vials? No.
Vials? Valises? I have no idea what that is.
Valises.
Google.
Special valises holding these sensors and nuclear materials had vanished.
A small traveling bag or suitcase. The fuck? Why don't you just say a small bag? Gotta get all fancy with shit.
Where are you reading this?
Google.
Okay. More than a year later, the state and federal officials don't know where the plutonium, one of the most valuable and dangerous substances on Earth, is, nor has the cesium been recovered. No public announcement of the March 21st incident has been made by either the San Antonio police or by the FBI, which the police consulted by telephone. When asked, officials at the lab at the San Antonio declined to say how much plutonium and cesium were missing, but Idaho lab spokeswoman Sarah Newman said the plutonium in particular wasn't enough to be fashioned into a nuclear bomb.
Wouldn't be enough to fashion it into fucking anything.
It wouldn't be enough to fashion it into a wristwatch.
No, yeah, you couldn't kill a fucking mouse with that. You couldn't kill a goddamn fly with that.
But still, that's a big problem.
Actually, I'd be more concerned with a missing shipment of smoke detectors.
Why?
Well, if you were to ship if you actually specifically were to ship a 52-foot truck of smoke detectors, you would need to have not only a radioactive license, you would have to have radioactive stickers on the sides of your truck, the whole works, and you would have an escort and a travel plan.
Mercury?
Polonium. I think it's polonium? Or no, it's something that starts with an A. Anyways, it's an alpha emitter.
Oh.
Long story short, alpha emitters don't do shit to you outside your body. They won't make it past your dead skin cells.
All right.
Inside your body, woo! Dude, that alpha emitters are basically the cause of most cancers.
So don't be.
In my opinion.
Don't be making my smoke detectors. What you're saying.
Yeah, and a truckload of them will actually give off enough radiation that it's potentially going to exceed the 2.5 millirem per hour.
Really?
But the 2.5 millirem per hour is set there so that you could stand in 2.5 millirem per hour for 2,000 hours before you've reached your maximum dosage for the year.
Okay, so it's the bare minimum baseline.
Yeah. Anything under that, you don't need to report it. You don't need to do anything with it. It's basically the same as the background radiation that I'm getting and you're getting right now.
Right. Well, I mean, it's still an issue. Like, yeah, it's a bit of a fuck up. I mean, why leave a bag or a satchel or anything like that of high importance inside a Ford Expedition in whatever neighborhood? Doesn't
anywhere.
matter.
Yeah, you bring that shit in with you.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Especially because it's not that fucking dangerous. Like you could, like I said, you could eat it, and it's not gonna really do shit to you. Well, I mean, you really shouldn't eat it, but again, it's so small that it's really, you could smack yourself and get more damage.
Okay. Well, you shouldn't do a lot of things. Like you shouldn't do a backflip when you're carrying, but I mean, someone else did.
Interesting thing. Do you remember 20 years ago, there were people dying fucking left, right, and center from falling asleep with a cigarette?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, they started adding polonium. Polonium is an alpha emitter, and alpha emitters interact with smoke. That's actually how the smoke detectors work. There's a constant charge there, and as soon as smoke gets in between, it varies the charge, and if it breaks the threshold, the alarm sounds.
Interesting.
Yeah. The ones that aren't the water or other sensors. If it's the electric ones, yeah, that's how they operate.
That actually happened. Something like that actually happened exactly to my mother years and years and years ago, where she went to bed, lit a cigarette, fell asleep, and half the mattress caught on fire. I never thought it was
because they would.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would just keep burning and burning, and then they put in the polonium. Great, saved lives in the immediacy. Gave a lot of people cancer.
Well, shit.
Because polonium is a natural alpha emitter. That means every smoke that I have, I'm dumping alpha emitters into my lungs.
Well, that's
every breath I take. I'm going to die, so I'm going to be watching you. Watch what you say.
Exactly. Stings around here somewhere, I swear. Okay.
If I'm a ghost, I am going to Patrick Swayze the fuck out of someone. I don't know who yet, but I'm going to do it.
So, two quick stories before I wrap up. One of them has to do with the 2018 FIFA World Cup Championship.
Mm-hmm.
So, congratulations goes to France, and according to you,
Vive la France.
They were celebrating like a bunch of Vancouver Canuck fans in the Stanley Cup final yet again.
Sacre bleu.
Let me look it up. France celebrates World Cup. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. It started out as joy and revelation.
Yeah.
And then just became revelations.
Eiffel Tower, merci.
Oh, oui, baguette, monsieur, bonsoir.
Yeah.
French toast.
More about the news. Jay-Z. Celebrations turned violent. Here we go. But as the night wore on, the scenes of revelry were marred by 2 confirmed fatalities in the behavior of a small minority. In the southeastern town of Annecy, A-N-N-E-C-Y, Annecy, the small eastern town of Annecy, a man in his 50s killed himself driving into a shallow canal following the wind, confirmed local police, while a 30-year-old motorist died having crashed into a tree in the western village of St. Phoenix.
Oh my god. These are two jackasses who were like, yeah! Oh fuck, I'm driving. Shit up.
Yeah, despite numerous efforts, the victims died. We called on pedestrians to be more careful. In the capital, fireworks, flares, and smoke bombs were thrown indiscriminately along the celebrations as fans refused to disperse and clash with the advancing police. Wow. French riot police used water cannon trucks to disperse people. Some 30 individuals broke into a luxury store.
Macron don't fuck around, eh?
Yeah,
Macron will fuck you up.
Pillaged the luxury store. Some merchandise was stolen and damaged. No one was injured. Jesus Christ.
We took out some scooters, huh? Mais oui, c'est bon.
Okay. I don't see anything. I don't see anything about that.
Let's see if I can find it.
Anyway, so that happened, but then also a buddy of mine reminded me that 20 years ago, France won the World Cup as they went against Brazil, and he remembers that specific day because of something that I remembered. And what it was is, okay, Menard. Hello, Menard. Ever saw Montreal when the Canadiens win the Stanley Cup? No.
Yeah, they fucking lost it too. Montreal riots, fucking Vancouver riots. Canadians are a riot.
Vancouver has yet to win the Stanley Cup, and we just riot because we lose.
Yeah. It's our turn, god damn it.
Looters smash up Paris shop, steal scooters, admit World Cup. Oh, hold on. I can fix this. Really?
Yeah, I swear to God, they were stealing fucking scooters. It was the slowest police chase of all time. Me, fuck you,
So anyway, 20 years ago, to back up the story a little bit, 20 years ago, my car was a 1979 Malibu, a Chevy Malibu, and I was involved in a car accident. I was knocked out during this car accident. I suffered severe whiplash, and I remember waking up in the middle of the intersection after the accident. And what had happened was, on a clear day, Menard says, it's a riot when they win. Downtown looks like a war zone. Yeah. I believe it. Being a Vancouver fan for all these years, I believe it. So anyway, I got into a car accident. A black Lincoln was not paying attention. I was seated, stopped at a red light in the middle of a summer day, and the guy just plowed right into me. So, my car's a complete write-off, right? Excuse me. ICBC wants the car, and they want to give me $500 for the car. I'm like, the engine and transmission and wheels are worth more than $500, and those are still, like, they're still operational, right? So I made a deal with them, and I said, how about I pull the engine and transmission and pull the wheels off of it. I'll leave the chassis wherever you want it, and then you can pick it up. And they went, we're fine with that. I said, and I still get $500. They said, that's totally fine. So within days, mere days, I was able to find a buyer for the engine, transmission, and the wheels for $2,000.
Nice.
Yeah, and the guy was like, fuck it, I'll take it, right? So, I had a rental car, and this is the first time I ever had a rental car, and I went to budget, and they said, what type of car would you like? So I'm looking around and go like, oh, cool, a 1997 Chevy Malibu. I'm going to junk a 79 Chevy Malibu. I might as well drive a 97 Chevy Malibu. So I go to this place called Glen Valley. And Glen Valley is, if you picture on a map, you have a bunch of towns, right? You have Abbotsford, and then you have Aldergrove, and then you have Langley, and then you have Guilford, right? In between Aldergrove and Langley, underneath is Glen Valley, and Glen Valley is farmland. And one of my dad's buddies has this giant shop out there, huge acreage, all farmland, but he works on his hot rods out there. And he gave me permission to pull the engine and transmission out of the 79 Malibu out in his farmland. And he had all the equipment to do so. So I told my buddy, like, look, I'm gonna drive the 79 Malibu because it is written off and it has no plates. And so if I get pulled over, it's not a big deal. It's my ass on the line. So I gave him the keys to the 97 Malibu, and I told him to follow me. So we're starting to get out to Glen Valley, and to get down to where my dad's buddy's place is, you have to go down this long hill. And it's, like I said, it's all farmland. It's paved, but it's all farmland. So, like, I'm coming down this hill, and I just stomp on the gas pedal because, like, fuck it. Like, this is the last time this engine's ever going to move this vehicle. I'm having fun with it, right? Totally forgot, by the time I got to this bottom of the hill, that it was around the time that the frost heaves were really, really bad. And there was a frost heave above a culvert. And the frost heave is like a good 4, maybe 5 feet long. So as I'm coming down the hill, like I buried the needle, right? Coming down the hill, and just as I flatten out, I remember the frost heave. I had enough time to get off the throttle, and that was it. Because I hit that thing, and the front end came up on that Malibu. I saw nothing but sky, right? Just whop, and up it went, right?
Them Duke boys got themselves into a bind again.
Oh yeah. So, like, I go from like wee, right, and then the front end comes up, and I immediately remember like my hands going from the top of the steering wheel to the bottom of the steering wheel because I'm holding on for dear life now. The whole thing comes down, just this incredible smash. Sparks come out from underneath both sides of the car. Right? I jump on the brakes just in time to look at my rearview mirror and see the 97 Malibu go pop! He comes down, he kicks 3 hubcaps off the thing, and he pulls over immediately, right? So...
My God, this is a 1970s cop show in the middle of San Francisco.
I know. So, He gets out of the car. Like I had already been driving for like a year and a half at this point in time. He still had his student's driver's license, and of course he was in the rental car. So we're like, he comes out, checks on me, and like, are you okay? I'm fine. The car's fucked. Whatever. What about the rental car? That's the big problem, right? So we go rooting through the ditches to try to find these 3 fucking hubcaps. We found all 3 of them, slapped them back on, and then drove out to my dad's buddy's place. So pull the engine, pull the transmission, pull the wheels off, put the whole thing up on blocks, call up ICBC and said, here's the address, the chassis is here, you have a clean shot, it's all yours. We went to Jimmy Mac's Pub, which is in Port Kells, and all I remember from that day is sitting at that pub with my buddy, and we're just laughing about what just happened. But what he remembers is Brazil losing to France in the FIFA World Cup final. It was on the TV when we were in that pub on that day. So, yeah, 20 years ago when France last won the World Cup, I almost rode off 2 cars.
And France celebrated peaceably.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so that's what that was. But yeah, my buddy Dan was like, do you remember? Like, so he remembered the fact that France was winning the World Cup back then, where I'm like, I remember everything else. Well, he remembers coming down that hill and almost wrecking a 97 Malibu. So, yeah, there was that. Anyway, quick sexy story. So a sexy story because I used to work at an adult store here in Prince George, and nothing ever fucking normal happens in my life. So working in an adult store, there's a lot of misconceptions and there's a lot of like myths and whatever of being inside an adult store, unless you actually frequent one. That doesn't make you a pervert, it just makes you informed. Believe me, there are perverts out there, and we can fucking see them come in a mile away. So there's one time this young woman came in and she wanted to try on lingerie. Now, there's a change room and there's plenty of lingerie to choose from. And like, it's not a big deal for me, and it's all a matter of comfort. But if someone wants to try on lingerie, I do have to ask if they need some help, because with like the corsets and some of the more intricate and delicate stuff, like you kind of do, unless you are really, really well informed on how to put these on properly, you need help putting them on. So
fucking right, they need a fucking IKEA manual.
Yeah, exactly. This young woman comes in. She wants to try on a couple of corsets or whatever. And customers are coming in and coming out, and not really paying much attention, like paying attention as much as a manager could, but not really paying much attention. And this woman goes and grabs a couple of things off the shelf and gets a proper size, and then she grabs about 3 articles and then goes into the change room. Now, the change room, from where I am, you got the doors in front of me, then you got the cashier's desk where I am seated, and then about 15 feet off to the left are a couple of change rooms, and they're secluded, but they're still like well within access, right? So this woman goes in with 3 articles of clothing. There's a few other random customers in the store, and she goes, I hear the woman go, excuse me, could I get a hand? And suddenly this other woman goes like rifling by me and goes like, I got it, don't worry about it, and just goes in there. So whatever, like, I didn't hear any complaints, I didn't hear nothing, so I automatically assumed like, friends, no big deal. So it happens all the time, right? So they're in there getting changed, and one of them getting changed, I guess, and trying out a corset, and then both of them come out and take a look in the mirror and go around and go back in, but the giggling starts getting a little louder, and they're having a good time. Like, what's wrong with that, right? So she tries on a few more things. Like, again, I'm not thinking anything of it. Now, hindsight, I should have known better, but yeah. So
someone's getting too much enjoyment here.
It's happened. So anyway, tries on a few more articles, and then the second woman who went in there just walks out. Okay, bye, and walks out.
What?
Well, maybe she's grabbing something from the car, whatever. I don't care. Right? So she walks out, and then 5 minutes later, the initial woman who wanted to try on all this lingerie comes out, and she's like, I think I want to try. I want to buy this. I want to buy this. Okay, cool. So I ring it up for her, and she goes, and then the woman looks at me and goes, where's your employee? I said, excuse me? And she goes, where's the woman that was helping me? I went, you don't know her? And she goes, no. It's like, she works here, doesn't she? I go, I'm here by myself. And she got this. She got this like all beat in the face, red, and she started to smile, and she goes, oh, thank you, and walks out. Like, wait a minute, what happened in there?
Yeah.
So, don't know.
Furthermore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
My brain can't wrap itself around that.
There's way too much stuff was left open. All I know is that's what happened. Is one woman came in to try on lingerie, another woman just so happened to volunteer herself, and the first woman did not complain, and they were giggling, and at some point in time, guaranteed one of them was completely naked, and then they went their separate ways. So yeah. Like, to this day, like, what happened? Like, what happened? Did it move any further? Did they ever find each other again? Was it a joke on me? Like what? Like, what happened, right? So yeah, that's
an interesting point. What if it did actually, like, it was like straight out of a movie, and they end up bumping into each other again at like some coffee house or some shit like that?
There's a gay bar in town.
Doesn't have to be a gay bar.
Doesn't have to be a gay bar. Could be a poetry recital for all I care. I don't know.
Side note, gay bar is a great place to pick up a woman.
I wouldn't know.
I've had a number of gay friends over the years.
Okay. I don't have
Very,
enough.
very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Okay.
But anyways,
Let's wrap this up.
yeah. Name. We need a name. I was starting with plutonium powered, and I got stopped there. I'm gonna get stuck on alliteration. I know it.
Plutonium powered. Well, we talked about the FIFA World Cup. We talked about France. We talked about Matt Porteous. We talked about the weed issue, the border issue. Plutonium powered border control.
I feel like it's 95% there. Plutonium powered border control.
Plutonium.
Plutonium powered border control. Well,
It's kind of catchy. I do like it. Like, it says a lot.
Plutonium powered scooter patrol.
Petroleum powered French border control.
I feel like it's too much.
It's too much?
Yeah.
We just go with petroleum powered border control. Patrol. Not control. Patrol.
Border patrol.
Plutonium powered border patrol. I like it.
Yeah. You know what? It's distinct.
Yes, exactly. All right. Do your thing.
All right. You've been listening to another exciting episode of WTF ATTA podcast. What the fuck are they talking about? I am your host, Elijah. Go to the website, WTFATTA.blogspot.com, to find out more about the cast, crew, and episodes. Send us an email, WTFATTApodcast@gmail.com. Go to YouTube and Twitch to watch live and subscribe. Go to iTunes to get the old episodes. Go to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to like and subscribe. Search for WTF ATTA. Check us out live, 8 a.m., Jesus Christ, 8 p.m. on Mondays, Eastern Standard Time, and 9:30 on Thursdays.
And I'm JD. Yeah. Okay. You done? You good?
I'm done.
Okay. I'm JD the Little Jack. You can follow me all over social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and on Mixer. And if you haven't yet already, please do subscribe, because it's just nice to see those numbers and be a part of the community. If you subscribe to anything like Mixer or Twitch or YouTube, click the bell or click the notification. That way you know whenever we are broadcasting, and usually whenever schedules do align, it will be on a Monday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Joining me yet again is Eli from WTF ATTA, and you can follow him all over social media, WTF ATTA Podcast, or just WTF ATTA, because fucking fakers be damned. This is episode 432, and I think that is it. Thanks, Menard, for joining us yet again, and as always, continue to speak from the skull, and I'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.